Rigetti's future just got a major upgrade, but here's why my uploads might slow down. I'm overhauling Stockmate's AI backend to DeepSeek. So I'm going to be coding till probably 3 a.m. I got to unlock some next level predictive analysis charts, and that's going to be a pretty big overhaul. Now, also, our New Year's sale is vanishing soon. So if you want to watch me trade live every single day, it's the link below, second link down below. Let's dive into this. So, Rigetti stock, we could see that it's been establishing this new trend that looks pretty substantial. We traded it this morning. We ended up buying in at 12.50, I believe it was, and we sold right here around 13.50, a little bit after market open, probably about an hour after. So you guys could see if we drop down into the shorter term, basically what happened this morning. You can see my portfolio is hovering just between 0 and above green and below green, and you can see that Rigetti stock sold off at market open here. We bought somewhere around 12.50, I think it was, or 12.70. We sold right here around 7.15 this morning. It sold back down, and now it's at this previous support, not previous support, but rising support. The thing that looks really good about Rigetti, just kind of long term, or I guess medium term here, is that it's developing this trend that looks really similar to what it had before. You can see right now it's retesting. It's kind of at this level where it is potentially bouncing, but we see it up just a little bit under 1% today. You can see it's starting to develop this trend. The beautiful thing about Rigetti is that if it gets to a point where this momentum continues and we actually do see it get to previous highs, we'd be looking at what could be over 60% increase. Now, the downside here is this previous support, and that could be a factor. That's around $9.50. If it breaks pattern here, we potentially could see it drop there. Now, what we're hoping to see is what Rigetti does consistently when it's uptrending. You can see right here, previous resistance acting as support, previous resistance acting as support, previous resistance right here acted as support. And a lot of times it does, you can see right there, when you're in an uptrend. So we could see an example right here, started to uptrend, found support, and now right here it is validating this previous resistance right here as a support. And so that's what you see when you start to see bullish uptrends. It looks good. This is the deal. Software, as I just mentioned, guys, I'm having to change a lot of the infrastructure on the back end for this predictive analysis tool that I'm building out for Stockmate. And in order to get it done, I have to go change our models to DeepSeek, because right now DeepSeek is the best AI on the market that you can use. The issue is that they don't have they have a lot of usage throughout the day. When you have a lot of usage, people don't get to use it, and unless you're up until 3 a.m., something like that. So I don't know how many more updates we're going to have here in the coming days. Might be kind of hectic. Maybe we'll have a lot. Maybe we'll have a little. I'm not sure. But Rigetti is a quantum computing company that is going to play a key role in getting to the next level of AI. The reason we say that is because this company, DeepSeek, that is challenging ChatGPT in the AI race, is still using hardware. It's not that they're not using hardware. It's just that they're getting better at using the hardware. What happens when you push hardware to bigger capacity? So it kind of goes back to CES when we had this announcement come out, when NVIDIA said that the useful quantum computers are still pretty far away. But you know what? This company, Rigetti, and also these companies that I got to go meet and talk to at the same event just after the comments, they said that they weren't worried about the hardware. They weren't worried about making crazy quantum computers. They were just focused on the fidelity of the qubits, focusing on really quality qubits as opposed to trying developing a ton of hardware. And that's exactly the mindset that has tremendously developed AI. As the Chinese, for example, they said, we're not going to focus on using all this new hardware. We're going to focus on getting really, really, really good at using the existing hardware that we do have. And so that's such an important mindset that I think is going to carry a lot of these quantum computing companies further than people think, to where you get to a point where you've been developing the software and you're like, all right, we have to get this to another, but the hardware, it just simply cannot handle it. What do you do at that point? Well, at that point, you need to figure out where you can get better hardware. And quantum computers outperform GPUs like no other. And that's why we've seen the quantum computing space soar. That's why you saw it covered heavily at CES, why we went to that conference and looked at it, why you have NVIDIA investing in a lot of companies here, but also why they're covering it in their upcoming announcements in March. So NVIDIA is covering that as well. So when we pop on over to Rigetti stock, there's not a whole lot of news despite the big increase in attention. One of the things that we saw with Rigetti stock is that they were continuing to get more partnerships. You can check out the quantum computer. You can see what it looks like, how it works, why it works, and they have a lot of great information on their website. You can see them working with NASA, see them working with Oxford. Now this is great, right? So AWS, Microsoft, and Rigetti. The only way to access this hardware right now, unless you actually order one of their quantum computers, which you can. I can go here and I can order a quantum computer. I'm going to have to talk with them and probably go through some vetting processes. But if you think about it, this quantum computer, which is something you can order, the only other way to access it is through the cloud. And if you want to access it, so you could order it, but if you're in China or you're trying to, let's say you're another country trying to develop, you're most likely going to have to go through, let's say, Microsoft Cloud or AWS Cloud. Now that's much more trackable, much more easily identifiable who is using it. So that could pose more of an advantage for US companies, because right now we're in a race. You got Mark Zuckerberg and all Sam Altman saying, okay, how do we make our models better? We got to make them better because blank. And it's great. People get scared about Chinese companies coming in with these innovations. But here's the reality. This is good. This is great, because what that means is now you're going to see a lot more competition, a lot more people innovating, a lot more companies saying, hey, we got to step it up. And there's not monopolies. There's a lot of different companies competing in this. And quantum computers, I believe, will play a key role in this. So Microsoft, which is basically ChatGPT, parent company, they're going to be innovating tremendously with OpenAI and trying to make this happen. And I would imagine that they got to be saying, once they get this figured out, which they will, the next thing is going to be, what massive advantages do we have? They're going to most likely turn to more hardware, better hardware, or coming up with solutions from quantum computers for some of the next levels, because they're going to start breaking through. They're still breaking through in AI with software, but they're going to get to a point where they're going to be breaking through with hardware even more. It's going to become more, they're breaking through with both sectors, but that's just something to consider. Also over here, AWS, Rigetti Computing, we're going to see one thing that they don't have us, that we're able to look at. We can check out these computers, but we're not able to see how much usage is going through. You can see some of their customers that use the quantum computers, but you don't get to see how much usage is happening through AWS. So that's something that we want to consider. The other thing about Rigetti stock, so while it's starting to hold this trend and most likely will be continuing this trend, but we see it do sell off down to this previous support. We'll see if it holds this trend. But one of the things that you have to think about when we're talking about making it to newer, higher highs, they're going to need some of the pie of all of this news in the AI boom. There's a few ways they'll get some of this. The first one is going to be related to that to the research in cancer vaccines that they're using quantum computers. There's been a lot of money. I think it was $400 billion towards AI that they plan to invest, and it most likely will be related to finding solutions in drug discovery, so cancer vaccines, which is something they're already working on, and Amgen, which is one of the leading companies in that drug discovery and vaccines, is they are looking, or they are using quantum computers right now. I confirmed that at CES with some of the professors. So that'll be a piece. But the other piece is the $2.6 billion quantum initiative bill that is still not getting passed at this moment, but is expected to pass here. So U.S. senators introduced a National Quantum Initiative Reauthorization Act authorizing $2.7 billion over the next 5 years. They're going to make this happen. Now, also, DeepSeek and that Chinese company made their code available. They're pretty open about it. And so let's see if the U.S., if they catch up quite quickly to DeepSeek, can you see that happen? And then we get from there to now the next level is probably more software development, but it's also going to be how can we build out better hardware, or how can we tap into this? And then you have stimulus of $2.7 billion coming into the quantum computing space here with this bill if it passes. That's going to probably bridge some gaps around the AI connected, because you can't run quantum computers without anything. You need to have a computer or an AI running in the data and using the quantum computer. So that will be something we'll potentially see play a key role here. That's going to do it. I would say those things are the biggest things for Rigetti stock right now. It's starting to continue this trend up. And again, it's a little bit risky as it's falling at the moment. Near-term volatility is expected, but we're going to see what we'd like to see, right, is that it does continue this upward direction similar to how it did before, and we can hold some of our long-term positions, continue to play the dips at market open. And if you guys would like to watch me trade live at market open, we did it today with Rigetti stock. We bought the dip and we sold up here. Sold just a few minutes after market open here, but definitely got to share the position with our stock mates. You can see it's starting to recover here. It almost looks like another buy, but now we'll see a little bit of rejection. We'll see if it holds and continues this pattern that we have here, and we'll see what happens at market open tomorrow. If you want to be there, it's that second link down below. Our New Year's sale is expiring, so if you want to get in, there's the lifetime access there, and there's also the quarterly access. You get into Stockmate here. In Stockmate, we have awesome Andres just joined, so that's awesome. She just got in, or he just got in. Excited for that. We got earnings coming out. There's learning, and we also got the books. If you guys need books, everybody could use some more knowledge to up level their game and get on top of it with their mindset, their emotional IQ, and entering trades with plans that can improve your chances of profiting. It's all inside Stockmate. It's that second link below, and I'd love to see you guys there with our New Year's sale. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. We'll keep a close eye on Rigetti as well as the other quantum computers, so do consider subscribing if you want to stay up to date with the quantum, AI, and tech space into 2025. Do consider hitting that like button if I earned it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.